No, no, you stop that.
Coming up next, it's the largest student-run philanthropy in the world. We look ahead to the annual event at Penn State that raises millions to fight childhood cancer.
This year's pretty cool too. It's my first thon as a student.
Plus, how Pennsylvania is taking the fight against vaping in schools to court.
We're having students that are repeat offenders, and the question is, why are they repeat offenders?
And helping local kids with their mental health and wellness through books. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Hunter Kelly.
And I'm Alicia Hercules. Thanks for joining us. Thousands of people will turn out this weekend for an annual event at Penn State that raises millions of dollars for a good cause. It's the 46-hour dance marathon, simply known as Thon, and it begins later today. Reporter Jamie Burton is live in University Park with more on what's happening. Jamie?
Thanks, Alicia. It's pretty sunny out here today, still a little bit cold, but in just a few hours, people will be lining up in this parking lot behind me in preparation for the kickoff of Thon 2020 weekend. Earlier this week, I got to talk with Thon participants about their long history with this unique event and what exactly it means to them.
The total for Thon 2019 Shape the Moment is $10,621,683.76.
Thousands cheered when the final Thon reveal happened last year. More than $10 million raised to help fight pediatric cancer. This weekend, Penn State students and spectators will again join together for the signature event by the largest student-run philanthropy in the world. Thon has helped 4,000 families, including Penn State students Tucker Haas and Robbie Schweitzer, in their own fight against cancer.
This year's pretty cool too. It's my first thon as a student, and then it's also our first thons together as Penn State students, which is pretty cool. And then being able to see him dance this year will be pretty special for me as well.
Schweitzer will join more than 700 other students on the floor of the Bryce Jordan Center for the 46-hour dance marathon. Thon holds lots of fundraising events throughout the year. This week, students turned out at the hub to donate their hair or get their head shaved in honor of kids who don't have hair because of their cancer treatments.
I wanted to donate my hair last year, so I had to wait the full year, and I planned it for this Thon because I didn't have enough length. So I donated my hair this year, and then I was like, might as well go all the way and shave it.
In 1992, Thon hit a milestone by raising $1 million. The grand total is now more than $157 million. That money provides financial support to families and helps fund cancer research. For Robbie Schweitzer and Tucker Hawes, it's also about having fun. Robbie will be on his feet as a dancer for the whole 46 hours, while Tucker lends a hand as both of them have attended more than 15 thons, but this is one they won't ever forget.
And those who were chosen to dance in Thon this weekend have been preparing all week to not sit or sleep for 46 hours straight. Live outside of the Bryce Jordan Center, I'm Jamie Burton. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jimmy. It should be a good time. Quick work by local firefighters prevented a fire from spreading in State College. Emergency crews quickly put out the small blaze that started in the kitchen at the Acacia Fraternity on Wednesday night. The fraternity says an assistant chef accidentally left a pot of oil on a lit burner when locking down for the night. Nobody was injured and damage was contained to the kitchen.
The latest numbers on the coronavirus now show 2,200 dead and more than 75,000 cases worldwide. Also today, a new Associated Press poll shows more Americans are worried about the flu than the coronavirus. And here at home, Penn State University has joined a group of research organizations committed to fighting the coronavirus. There are no cases linked to Penn State, but the university has joined a global coalition pledging to provide immediate open access to research findings related to the virus. The group will send research results to the World Health Organization. Penn State is the first U.S. university to join the effort.
A lawyer who led the investigation and prosecution of Jerry Sandusky has lost his law license for a year. The issue was over Frank Fina's handling of a grand jury witness in the Sandusky case. The state Supreme Court ruled this week to suspend Fina's license for 1 year and 1 day, saying his actions were improper in obtaining grand jury testimony about 3 top Penn State officials by a university lawyer.
Pennsylvania's Attorney General is suing e-cigarette company Juul over the way it markets its products to teenagers. Reporter Charles Hart has more on the fight against vaping across the state and here in our area.
Going. So this is 129 of 2020, 211, 214. It was Friday.
State High School Resource Officer John Aston is helping spearhead the campaign against vaping and e-cigarettes in school. Since last year, they have collected and sent directly to his office more than 60 devices from students. He expects 3 to 5 new ones every week.
The push that this was a safe alternative really is not.
1 in 4 high schoolers use e-cigarettes, according to the Pennsylvania Youth Survey.
You're looking at the intensity of nicotine that's in the Juuls and the vapes. I've had students that have reported that they've been addicted since 7th and 8th grade, and now they're struggling here in high school, trying to, resolve the addiction with the vaping, and they can't.
State Attorney General Josh Shapiro has filed a lawsuit against e-cigarette maker Juul over how its products are marketed and sold to teenagers. The suit wants the court to stop Juul sales in Pennsylvania or change the way it does business. Leaders against the use of e-cigarettes and vaping goes far beyond administration. Student government officials, such as Isabel Snyder, are taking action into their own hands.
We've had quite a few posters go up recently about sort of the dangers of vaping and the consequences and the cost. And it's been sort of a district-wide advertising campaign.
Although Snyder does not vape herself, she agrees with Shapiro's argument that Juul has specifically targeted teens with certain flavors.
And I think, right, with flavors like cotton candy and mint and all these very kid-friendly flavors, these treats, the things that sort of the flavors are based on are in and of themselves considered kids' food and considered food for teenagers.
A Juul spokesman says the company wants to focus on fighting underage use and converting adult smokers from traditional cigarettes. Wyatt Hartman is one of those smokers. He started vaping as an alternative.
I smoked cigarettes for probably about a half a year, 3/4 of a year. Then I switched to a Juul as an alternative to smoking cigarettes. I figured it might be a healthier alternative.
The state health department says so far there are more than 60 confirmed cases of vaping-associated lung injuries in Pennsylvania. In State College, I'm Charles Hart for the Santa County Report.
Lawsuits have also been filed in other states, including New York, Minnesota, and California.
With another caucus coming up this weekend, Democratic presidential candidates are fighting for more delegates in Nevada. The candidates are gearing up for this weekend's caucuses in the Silver State. After picking up 9 delegates in New Hampshire, Bernie Sanders is closing the gap, while Pete Buttigieg still leads the race with 23 total delegates. Candidates are now focusing their attacks on candidate Michael Bloomberg.
About who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Well, Mike Bloomberg will not be on the ballot for Nevada's caucuses this weekend. He's focusing on future primaries.
In just over a month, the U.S. Census will begin. The every 10-year count of every person living in the U.S. is used for everything from federal funding to figuring out how many seats each state receives in the U.S. House of Representatives and Pennsylvania's legislative districts. Pennsylvania's Second Lady Giselle Fetterman visited Penn State this week to speak at an event to let people know how important the census is and to encourage their participation. Other officials joined her for her part of her Every Pennsylvanian Counts tour. A former undocumented immigrant brought to America as a child, Fetterman hopes to get more immigrants and minorities to complete the census.
I do have a lot of folks that say, I can't vote, so I can't complete the census. Not even the citizenship question, just thinking that in order to complete the census, you have to be a voter or a resident or a citizen. And once you explain that, then they quickly understand. But I think it's something that hasn't been targeted to them in the past, and they have felt like kind of the invisible people.
Fetterman traveled to Philadelphia yesterday and will be in York on Monday as part of her census tour. Local residents will start getting census information in the mail in mid-March.
Health and wellness is a topic growing in importance around the nation. And this week, the Mid-State Literacy Council and the Jana Marie Foundation teamed up to host a health and wellness book reading for children in State College. Anna Middleton has more on the story.
Children filled the basement of Grace Lutheran Church, not to watch TV or movies or listen to music, but to embrace the fun of reading.
Children had the opportunity to meet author and illustrator Michelle Nelson Schmidt.
The Florida-based author has been traveling the country, speaking at elementary schools for about 11 years now. She talks with students about her books, focusing on mental health and wellness. Her book series called The What If Monster teaches kids how to cope with their emotions.
It is so important to talk to kids about feeling their feelings. And I think when we don't talk, we don't connect.
Kids had the opportunity to wander through the church basement and visit different stations, where volunteers helped them learn how to deal with their emotions. Just some coping methods included things like, if you are feeling sad, find someone to talk to. If you are feeling angry, count to 5.
So learning how to identify emotions, which is one of the activities that we're doing tonight, to just figuring out what to do when we have that sense of worry going on within us is so important no matter the age.
Local elementary schools are putting an emphasis on children's mental health and wellness. And Michelle Nelson Schmitz made appearances at elementary schools across the country, including 2 schools in our area. In State College, I'm Anna Middleton for the Center County Report.
On March 28th, the Jana Marie Foundation will hold another event called The Embrace, aimed at giving middle school girls a day to focus on their mental health and wellness.
Some new jobs are coming to Central PA. We'll tell you where they're coming next.
Plus, after a cold couple days, are we in for another warm-up this weekend? Our man Mike has the forecast. Also coming up, how Penn State is taking a long-term look at football head injuries and their long-standing impact nationwide. Center County Report continues in 2 minutes.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Some new jobs are coming to Altoona. Norfolk Southern Railroad is closing its Roanoke, Virginia locomotive shop and offering 85 workers the chance to transfer to its shop in Altoona. The Virginia facility is closing because of a decline in coal tonnage and cuts in the company's locomotive fleet.
The cash-strapped Port Matilda EMS is getting a boost from a local company. Glenn Haw Baker Incorporated heard about the serious financial state of Port Matilda's emergency services and helped kick off a wave of local support. From monetary donations to maintenance work at the station itself, volunteers have been working to get the EMS back on its feet. One generous donor even gave the station $10,000.
A multi-year research study on concussions is underway at Penn State. The study is looking into the effects of head impacts, both concussions and hits that fall below that threshold. Researchers are collecting data from players before, during, and after multiple football seasons. Data for the first year of the study is already being analyzed.
Beautiful day to end the week here. Lots of sunshine across Beaver Stadium right now. We start off on a cool note with some temperatures in the teens this morning, but we have warmed up into the 20s. It's 28 degrees outside Beaver Stadium. The good news is that the wind is on the light side, so our feels like temperature or the wind chill actually match here in State College. Now, temperatures across central Pennsylvania right now are mainly in the upper 20s right now. We are in the 30s down in Harrisburg at 31 degrees, a little bit cooler in Johnstown at 22. Off to the west, we're a little bit cooler in the higher elevations in the lower 20s. It's what we would expect with the higher elevation. And when we see the lower elevation down to the southeast, we're in the 30s right now, freezing mark in Allentown. The radar and satellite showing plenty of sunshine across Pennsylvania today, and it looks like it's going to stay that way over the next couple of days because our friend at high pressure is in control down to the southwest. That means we have sinking air above our heads, and that prevents clouds from forming, not just for today, but for tomorrow, and I think even for Sunday as well. Futurecast showing again that we will see those clouds stay out of our way today and into tonight. If you head out tomorrow, you either go to Thon or just to do some errands, you're going to need the sunglasses because a lot of sunny skies for tomorrow and into the afternoon hours as well. And again, continues into Sunday as well. Now, in terms of the numbers, we're talking a high of 37 degrees today. Fantastic Friday with all that sunshine around. Tonight, we will not be as cool as last night. Low temperature of 24 degrees, but a clear night here in State College. Now for Thon weekend, we got 3 days of pure sunshine here in State College, and temperatures will also be going up near 50 on Sunday. It is going to be a beautiful weekend here in Happy Valley. The 7-day forecast showing that picture perfect weekend, but then we see the rain moving in for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Hunter and Alicia. So if we have to take anything, at least we get the sunshine on the weekend.
Absolutely. It's really great to see the sunshine here. So we're excited to see that. Absolutely. And Ryan, what do you have for us in sports today?
Well, Hunter, after the break, Penn State gets ready for a huge hockey series at the Pagula. We'll talk with the seniors. Also coming up, a look on how Penn State men's tennis is succeeding with an international flair. Sports is next.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter. There's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Ryan Lamb with sports. Penn State hockey is back in Happy Valley this weekend for its last home series of the regular season. Anime reports on the fight for first place in the Big Ten.
The hockey team comes fresh off of a weekend split in Wisconsin, fighting to maintain a firm standing in the Big Ten as the regular season comes to a close. The conference is very tight this year, but one thing in particular makes this team stand out: their seniors.
A lot of our seniors who are in the weight room at 8 a.m. or on extra ice all the time, and they do it in different ways. There's a lot of guys who do it in like a verbal mentorship, helping guys with problems, helping guys with school.
Penn State has 10 players in its graduating class this year. Among those, a key seasoned forward, Liam Folks. The alternate captain has racked up 48 goals through 4 seasons and has contributed largely to the production of his line mates with over 50 assists. Capping off his senior season, the Canadian-born winger is excited for what's to come this weekend.
Obviously, this is huge because it's critical for the Big Ten standings, and hopefully we can come in first.
Face-offs tonight and tomorrow between the two teams tied for the first seed in Big Ten hockey present a challenging road ahead. The Nittany Lions take a much-needed break next week, while the Gophers go on to play another series at home against Michigan. With a sweep this weekend, Penn State can potentially solidify their highly ranked seed, heading into the Big Ten tournament and postseason play. Goaltender Peyton Jones and forwards Nate Soucis and Brandon Biro are some other leaders among the class determined to end their home careers on a winning note, and to help their team bring home another Big Ten title to Happy Valley and to the Roar Zone. In University Park, I'm Annie Mae for the Center County Report.
Face-off is a later one tonight at 8:30. Tomorrow, the game starts at 6:30. You can listen live to the games on Penn State Com Radio. Penn State basketball looks to get back on track Sunday against Indiana after suffering its first loss in over a month. The Lions lost to Illinois at home on Tuesday, snapping an 8-game winning streak. Nothing seemed to fall for the Lions in the loss, as they shot just 4 of 19 from beyond the arc. Lamar Stevens had a below-average night, scoring just 13 points. Penn State struggled, but Coach Pat Chambers feels like this is no time to panic.
This isn't the time to point fingers. This isn't time to run away from each other. It's the time to come together and get even closer and have that family atmosphere even tighter, that trust, that belief even closer. And you know what? The distractions on the outside.
Sunday's game at Indiana tips off at noon. After that, the Nittany Lions return home for games against Rutgers on Wednesday. Penn State Wrestling gets back in action this weekend after a huge win in the BJC duel. Almost 16,000 fans packed the BJC last Saturday. The Lions had big wins from Nick Lee, Vincenzo Joseph, and Mark Hall, who had the only pin of the night in just 46 seconds. Penn State also took time to honor some of the all-time great wrestlers to come through the program. The Nittany Lions take on American University Sunday at Rec Hall for their last meet of the season. Now to tennis. It's a popular sport around the world, and Penn State men's tennis team really shows off an international roster. Here's a closer look from the Indoor Tennis Center. Out of 11 players on the Penn State men's tennis team, 7 of them are from different countries. The diversity means sometimes that the team can field a lineup with all international players. Coach Jeffson said the team was looking to get the best players both academically and athletically. International players often fit the bill. being in the top 10% of their class in both. Charles Morgan perfectly fits that description. The freshman from South Africa is playing in the number 2 spot on the team despite only coming to the campus in January.
January was quite tough for me, but they directed me into just settling down, and they helped a lot. Really, they helped a lot.
He, like others, made the tough decision between going pro or playing in college, and academics made the latter more attractive.
And then I decided getting my academics on a great level as well as my tennis. So that was the best choice for me rather than going pro right now.
Here at Penn State men's tennis, apart from the variety of the players' nationalities on the team, their experience also vary as well. Christos Antonopoulos is one of 3 international seniors who spent all 4 years at Happy Valley. The biggest change to him on court is the team aspect of college tennis in comparison to juniors.
You play for something bigger than you. You play for your teammates. You play for your coaches. They're going to support you, not like when you're playing home, no one's always against you. So it's a total different tennis game, I would say.
He also feels at ease with where he's at now, but he was struggling earlier on with a much higher course load compared to high school, where he took time off to practice. For Antonopoulos, the perks of having an international player base is that he has successful examples to look up to.
They give you this positive strength that you feel you know what, if they can do it, then I can do it too. No matter how tough the classes are, you can get through it.
The tennis team is now 5-2 to start the season and will look to extend its win streak in a weekend tripleheader against Liberty today, with Penn and Bucknell to come on Sunday. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming up next, a Pennsylvania art museum makes a shocking discovery about a 400-year-old painting. Find out what it is after the break.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
The Allentown Art Museum can now say it owns an authentic Rembrandt painting. The nearly 400-year-old painting was originally credited to another artist from the studio of Rembrandt until 2 years ago when the artwork was sent to New York for maintenance. The conservators removed layers of varnish from the painting and began to suspect Rembrandt himself was responsible for the work. Eventually, outside experts determined the painting from 1632 is an authentic Rembrandt. The museum has no intention of selling the painting. It'll be on display to the public starting in June.
And that's all for today's newscast. For those of you participating in Penn State Stan, make sure you stay safe, have a great time, drink lots of water. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on Twitter. That's at Center County REP or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Join us on our next newscast the next Friday. Have a good weekend.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That